ahead, speak on it.
All right, y'all. You got so many people out here who are traditionally and religiously enslaved, and they swear they godly saved, but they really not. And I feel like this. I tell people all the time, you can't be godly saved when you move more for your pastor than you move more for God. I'm going to give y'all an example. Pastor called 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sister Shirley, I need you to get on out there. I need you to go on the battlefield for God. I need you to go pray for the sick and shut in. Oh, pastor, I'm coming. You grab me your support, bro. You doing everything that you got to do for pastor. But at the same time, hello, God been just piercing at your heart for the last 8 weeks to go fix some stuff with your family. You know, with that sister that you know you did wrong in church, but it must be them bean pies. I had some Chipotle. That must be the reason why I'm hearing stuff when I sleep. No, that's God talking to your behind. And it's so crazy to me because religion, I feel like, has been set in place and it was meant for the purposes of order, you know, so things can really be done right. It can be governed accordingly. And I believe in order. I believe that the man and the woman of the household of faith should be taken care of. I believe they should be reverenced and honored, but not above God, because he's the first one that we should be concerned with in our daily lives. So at the same time, when you got people with this religious tip, you know, and it stresses people out. It stresses me out. I told God a long time ago, look, Lord, if you want me to be saved, I can't be saved for these people because that's stressful to me. I can't wear no turtlenecks, you know, and stuff down to my ankles because it's hot. You know, it's 89 degrees out this door and it's hot out here. I can't do that. But what I can do is be concerned with the things that you're concerned with, the affairs and the matters of the heart. And you got so many people who say, for example, well, you can't be saved if you have a cup of wine. If you have a glass of wine, oh, that's the devil's juice. Okay, but at the same time, God says you can have a glass of wine, but don't drink to be drunk. And there's so many times when we use religion to, you know, cap people and to mentally enslave them. And that was never really what it was intending to do. And there's so many times where you will say, well, God's ways are so far away from our ways and God's thoughts are so far away from our thoughts. But you would never say that as a pass to somebody else walking into their purpose. Oh, you know, God called me to be a fashion designer and, you know, I need to be at these fashion shows, networking. Even, oh, no. That's nudity. That ain't nothing to do with God. But God, this is my God-given purpose, and you're telling me not to walk into this? God designed my body to be a model. People gonna get saved up off of this whether you know it or not. And you telling me don't walk in my purpose? It's different from yours in the pulpit, but nonetheless, this is my purpose and I have a work to do for God. So for those of you who are out there, never expect people to understand, you know, what it is that God is calling you into. He's gonna be asking you on Judgment Day, hey, what did you do with the gifts and talents? Oh, I ain't use them because, you know, my pastor was offended by them. You know, my mama said she ain't like that. I just try to keep that. I try to live peaceably amongst all men. So, God, I forgot about what you told me to do. So I was just living unto man during my time on earth. You know how crazy that sounds? That's absolutely crazy. You know what, more so than anything, you will never be happy living in somebody else's purpose for your life when you could be living into your God-given purpose and everything that he ordained you to do. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying this. I encourage you all, be godly saved. Don't be out here trying to be traditionally saved unto people, because the Bible even tells us that everybody falls short of the glory. And people be around here acting like that if you sin, you slip up and say one swear word, that's you on a highway to hell. No, absolutely not. God don't want you to be asking forgiveness for the same thing you're doing over and over again, but there's provision set for you. There's room still at the cross. I tell everybody, baby, if Rahab could make it in, she was a prostitute, surely there's room for Chris, and there's so much room for you. Love you all. Mwah.